Hi, this is Theo from ParkerBlocks.com. Today I'm going to review the Artist Tiles series of paper that is made by Strathmore. I received this tool from Strathmore almost 10 months ago. I think I should probably make a review today. And in today's review, I will be testing the paper with different medium like pencil, pen and ink, watercolor, and other stuff to let you see how the paper performs with different mediums. So let's get started. Artist tiles, they come in different sizes. So there is this 4 by 4 inches and the 6 by 6 inches. They are all square format. And they come with different types of paper. The one on the left, we have, this is a Strathmore Art Again Cold Black paper, 160 GSM. There are 30 sheets. So this is actually more like cartridge paper to me. It's quite thick, but it's more like cartridge. And this is from the 400 series. And on the right side, we have this 300 series Bristol board type of paper with vellum surface, and this is a very smooth surface, also like cartridge paper but more smooth without the texture. There are only 20 sheets and the paper is 270 GSM, so it's a bit thicker compared to this. When you look at Strathmore paper, you may notice that they are labeled with different series, like this is 300 series, 400 series. While student grade quality paper from Strathmore, they belong to the 100 series, and the best quality paper, they go to the 500 series. So 300 series is somewhere in between, and 400 series is, I think, the more premium brand. I'm going to start with pen and ink. This is a Sailor fountain pen that I'm using today with a zoom nib. And pen and ink works very well on this vellum surface. It's really very smooth and it handles ink very well. Now that I have my line art completed, let me use a brush pen to add in the black areas. This is a Kuretake brush pen. I've loaded it with rotring ink. So someone was asking me whether or not you can use rotring ink with Kuretake brush pen, and it does work. It seems that the noodleless ink that I use in the Sailor fountain pen, it doesn't dry that fast on this paper. Now from this point onwards, let me switch over to using ink. Ink from Daler & Rowley Kandahar. To be more specific, I will use a normal brush with this and darken the dark areas. This paper is very thick and it's very good for pen and ink art, and it handles ink really very well. There is no buckling, and the ink wash is very flat, very dark, just the way I like it. Let me add some lighter tones with diluted ink. I'm going to wait for this to dry. Meanwhile, let me switch over to using watercolor. I have already drawn this sketch with my Sailor fountain pen again. And this time, let me use this watercolor set. This is the Kuretake watercolor set, and this is a sketch of this box. So I'm going to use a watercolor brush and try and paint this. The paper works quite well with watercolor, and it does not buckle that much because the paper is quite thick. Colors are quite bright. The only downside would be, since this is not watercolor paper, it's not treated for watercolor, the water, they settle on the paper quite fast, and after that it dries up very quickly and it doesn't move around that much. So you have more time to work on if you are using watercolor paper, but not on this paper. This is more like cartridge paper. Let's try some markers now. These are Copic markers, and the ones that I have here are warm grease, so I hope they still have ink inside. Not a lot of ink left. That was a warm 5W5. Let me try a darker marker. The paper works very well with the markers, and it absorbs the markers quite well, very fast, and the markers, they appear to be very even. This is how I like markers to be. If you want to blend the markers, I think they blend quite well. Let's turn this around and see if the marker has bled through to the opposite side. And I do see some impression of the marker going through the paper, so it is best to draw on just one side of this paper. This is the coal black paper. Let me try and use this Signal white gel pen. This is made by Uniball. It works quite well. I have to draw a bit slower because it's a bit difficult for me to get the ink out of this pen if I draw it too fast. Let me switch over to using a pencil. This is just a normal red pencil. It can be a color pencil. And now let me switch over to this sepia light oil charcoal. I have a blue pencil here. I think normal pencils, they work better compared to the oil-based pencils. And lastly, this is a oil-based white chalk. So let's see if I can get any highlights. Let me show you a closer comparison of this oil-based white chalk versus normal white chalk. So this is oil-based. And this is normal white chalk. With the normal chalk, I can get more pigment on the paper. So oil-based pencils, they do not cover as well compared to normal pencil, pastels, or colored pencils. So the best medium to work with this paper would be the dry medium. And of course, if you want to protect your work, you should spray some fixative over the pencil art after you're done. These are the different medium on the paper. On vellum surface, marker, pen and ink, they work very well. Watercolor is fine, but it's not the best paper for watercolor. On the black paper, which is more like cartridge paper with a very fine texture, pencil, pastels, I think they work well on this paper. As for the pricing, you can check out the pricing online at art stores or on Amazon. The pricing is going to vary depending on where you buy it, the paper size, and also the type of paper. And that is all for my review today. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section below. And if you want to check out other art product reviews, the link to my art product playlist is in the video description below too. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.